Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this OTC final match between Citizens and Superior. I am your caster Horohori, and today we are presenting the game final. Casting with me today is Bryce T. How you doing, Bryce?
I'm doing fantastic. Pumped up for this final. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic also. Got home just in time to watch this great match between these two teams. So let me know what you see here on the rosters. Are there any surprises on either team from Superior or Citizens?
Definitely not on the Superior side, and I was lucky enough to see their almost reverse sweep on C team, who had an undefeated season, as well as their reverse sweep on Voltage at the very beginning of this playoff season. Definitely ready to see Admioka with that aggressive Winston and Polly on that just devastating Pharah. Hoping that Citizens has a response with it with Rendolfo on that Widowmaker or a hit scan hero that can take them out. But, you know, just excited to get this game started and see what these teams can bring out for this final game.
All right, now it looks like we are going into Nepal as our first match. It will be on Control. So maybe not some Pharah if we start on Sanctum, but it looks like here game is loading up and it's going to take a second. We're going to be starting here out on the Garden. So expect to see, looks like Pharah here going to be from Polly thing, and Randall Foe, it looks like is going to start on the Pharah also. No, Polly has decided to go Hanzo instead. Looks like looking like a Obelisk here going on the Reinhardt, and Killer Kel will be the main tank here for the Citizens. So does it look like here? No, like it looks like it's like sort of a mix of just a standard comp, no real diving. You were saying that we were going to be expecting a Winston from Admioka, but right now I think he's hiding what he's going to pick here.
Definitely seems Torb may not be the pick on this map, but you know, for this final they may have a strategy that we're just not prepared to see. But Randolfo on that Pharah, definitely a smart pick with Pro Gamer on that Reaper to help just take some extra damage to ping off of those main tanks. But we do see Superior switching around their comp just a little bit more. Polly off of the Pharah, but on that Genji, definitely saw some really just devastating Dragon Blades as we back in their past game, and we see Admioka, oddly enough, switching off, taking away from the main tank role, but on the Widowmaker, and no last switches on the Citizens as they crash the point, and Superior taking the high ground off to the left of their spawn.
Yeah, they're going with a slow push here from the left. It looks like Superior is actually going to be on the point already, so it looks like they're going to be looking to go. Obelisk here holding point, trying to see if he can actually hold off the main tank. Killer Kel charges him right off the point here. Now, as they're sort of going in, Obelisk actually charges in and it gets him down. With help of Programmer 360, Obelisk takes out Gohan too. And it looks like here, Daddy here, Daddy is going to take control on the point. Randall Foe going off, 2 kills here on Admioka and Supersonic. And Randall Foe just finalizes this fight.
It was definitely that very quick pick right after it seemed like Superior was going to grab this point from Citizens, but as Pro Gamer took down Killer Kel, that left Superior without a main tank, without a big shield for the rest of the team to hide behind. And you know, with that one pick, the Citizens just managed to push them all the way off the point and grab the picks that they needed to stop Superior from getting the momentum they needed to get this point.
Yeah, it looks like Superior slow coming again, this time from the left low ground. Obelisk charges right in, Gohan goes down immediately, and now it looks like they're down to Zenyatta and in bit of trouble here. They're sort of pressing the SB, falling back, and it's just not happening. Earthshatter comes out by Obelisk, who takes down Air, and it looks like a Genji Blade here on the point. Supersonic and Polly here trying to get out the Pharah from Randall Foe. Down goes Randall, but it is going to still be a control point by Citizens. But down goes Obelisk. Gohan actually comes back, and it's going to be a take here from Superior. They end up winning the fight. Pretty crazy.
Definitely, and as you saw, as soon as Pro Gamer fell down, that heavy damage that was taking out all of the Superior's tanks, when that fell, it gave Polly the room that he needed to pop that Dragon Blade, give him a few seconds to think, and didn't have that pressure from that high output from that Reaper. And as Gohan came in to get those double kills, Polly finished up the rest of the team and managed to hold this point for Superior.
Yeah, it looks like Randall Foe got taken out, but is rezzed immediately by Daddy. Graviton comes in, catches Killer Kel. Oh, Obelix gets earth shattered right in the middle of that charge, and in comes the Transcendence here to protect Superior. the Citizen, and a Reaper ult here into the background. Admioko takes out Programmer, and it's going to be a hold here for Superior. Superior knocking back, and it looks like time has to fall back, and it is a hold.
Definitely, Citizens definitely dedicated a lot of ults to that. Time popping that sound barrier right before the beginning, or right after, on the tail end of that Graviton that really didn't have anyone to capitalize with. Pro Gamer had that Death Blossom on the tail end just after Obelisk had been Earth Shattered and wasn't able to pin anyone from that Graviton. But Polly popping that Dragon Blade and getting 2 quick picks at the beginning of the spike. 3 picks!
Yes, 4 picks now. It looks like Air actually takes out Obelisk and Admioko takes out Randall Foe, so it's just going all wrong here for the Citizens. They've got to back up. We're up to 84% here. There's 1 fight left. Citizens have to win this fight in order to actually still have a chance at winning this stage. Looks like Daddy are going to move in. They really don't have very many ults. Randall Foe is the only one with an ult here as they start to engage. 4% left. They have to get onto the point. It looks like Obelisk is going to make it in time to start overtime. And Air is on the point. Polly takes out Killer Kel takes out Obelisk too. So now here come the kills. Oh, looks like ult there, but Admioko takes down Randall Foe. It is just all Superior here on the point. Looks like Daddy's the only one left on that Zarya. He's going to get taken down. Overtime ticks down, and it's going to be a first point here for Superior.
Again, Admioko, the second ult that he pulled Pro Gamer out of that round. The first was that Death Blossom that could have capitalized and could have given Citizens the momentum they needed to retake that point, but pulled them straight out of that Death Blossom. And the quick to Pharah was a smart pick, but again, didn't have that Graviton to capitalize on. It didn't have that Earth Shatter in the right place at the right time. When he popped it all by himself, it left him wide open for Admioko to just zero in on that very stationary, welcoming target for a headshot and just pulled him straight out of that.
Yeah, it was actually absolutely fantastic. Great timing on the headshots there by Admioko, who is now switched over to the Hanzo here for Village. So as we go through, it looks like Randall Foe has now also switched to the Widowmaker. So no Pharah, surprisingly, on this map, but it looks like Polly on the side of Superior has decided to go onto the Pharah now instead of that Genji. So trying to use that height advantage here, but it's going to run into Randall's Widow. But Polly takes the first kill, takes out Daddy on that Zarya. So now it looks like Citizens have to fall back here a little. 2 more kills come through as Obelisk and Daddy Healer goes down. So this is going to be a quick take for Superior.
Definitely, and again, we're seeing Polly on that Pharah. Definitely a comfort pick for them because they got that quick kill on Daddy Zarya. And Daddy Mercy didn't have the ability to go through that choke and get the res off. But as you see Superior taking this point, we see Citizens going through that middle point to try and take. Oh, and Randolfo gets that quick pick on Pharah as Citizens pushes to this point.
Yeah, Randolfo got 2 quick kills, both take down both the pharmacy members, and now it's going to be Citizens going to be in full push mode here. They attack Killer Kel and they're just teaming up on him. 3-on-1, he was never going to be able to survive. Air goes down on the point too, so that's going to be it. Citizens take a quick take. Great move there by Randolfo, opening it up for his team with that Widow, and just down goes Superior.
And this comp that Citizens is running is they're definitely favored with this meta. Orion Zarya with a Hanzo to capitalize on that extra that Graviton, that really powerful battle-changing ult. But going into this, the only ult that we really see is Killer Kel's Earth Shatter. So maybe he can get that in combo with Polly if they can get their barrage in time. Yeah.
So it looks like Randolfo has just used Sight here. So as they're in the middle of attacking, so it's Dragon comes through immediately, probably using the infra sight there from Randolfo, and Daddy actually takes down Polly. Big Earth Shatter here on the point, catches 4. Killer Kel wipes out Time and Obelisk, so they're wiping down the point here. So it looks like Daddy's still trying to hold out his delay as long as he can. The point does go over to Superior, and Daddy Healer gets taken out by Gohan and Air.
Gohan going ham once again, getting a double kill on both Daddies. And Killer Kel with that Flame Strike on Pro Gamer to push Citizens all the way back at the end of this push.
Yeah, it really is a tale of 2 daddies here for for Citizens. So therefore, it looks like 48% here. They've just taken a bit of an advantage Superior has onto this push. Now it looks like Citizens are going to be running through the middle as they're sort of coming through. Graviton catches them all, and a Dragon comes through to just sort of wipe them out. got a little bit of overkill, but I think they were afraid of the Transcendence, possibly from time, which actually wasn't there, it looked like. So, and it is a quick wipe for Citizens.
Definitely, and as we see, Superior still holding on to ult advantage. They have both support ults. As we just get about to 80% on Superior side, we see Citizens taking the high ground and pushing up where Polly has a perfect sightline on them from above.
Yeah, Polly just takes out Programmer with 2 shots in the air. That was absolutely fantastic. Polly showing off his skills on that Pharah. It looks like they're really just sort of like just preoccupied with the Pharah Mercy here on the combo. Daddy has to charge in and it looks like a grab down catches Air Gohan and Killer Kel, but a great transcendence there by Gohan actually saves the rest of his team as they're able to fight out Air and Polly just doing work, takes out time, and Killer Kel takes out Obelisk. This is going to be a win here for Superior. It looks like they're just sort of hauling on for that's going to be it. Time's winding down, and Superior take both maps on Nepal.
Definitely, and Killer Kel with that fly swatter on Pro Gamer, knocking them off that point and throwing Citizens' attempt at grabbing even overtime just a little bit longer for the rest of their team. But we do see a play the game from Polly on Genji, so definitely was a comfort pick on the Pharah. But we can see here the wonderfully timed Dragon Blade and Graviton and just raining a havoc on their team.
Yeah, the old combos here with the Zarya now in the meta have just become sort of really cool to watch, and that's a great combo there by Polly and Air. So good stuff here, and it's 1-0 to Superior in this Plat Diamond final. So good job by them. Just a shout out here for our match referee Quella. I forgot to introduce her in the intro. So she is the one that is in charge and running things today in the OTC final. So shout out to her. So Bryce, what does Citizens have to do in order to get a sort of a stranglehold back onto this match? It looks like Nepal just wasn't their map, and Superior just sort of ran over them as soon as they were able to sort of establish points. Citizens looked like they were okay initially on the engage, but when it came to retakes, Citizens just had a really tough time.
Definitely, and I honestly think it comes down to Polly on that Pharah. If you have Supersonic supporting them with that pharmacy, it's almost an immortal meteor strike that is just constantly coming down on you. And you know, a pretty a common method to counteracting that is either to ignore it and focus on the rest of the team that is on the grounds. But Polly is not a Pharah that you can ignore, and especially with Randolpho on that Widow, that should be his first priority when going into a fight, is finding that Pharah and picking him out of the sky and either getting Supersonic to waste that res or to fall to the rest of their team, or put them into a little bit of a time crunch to figure out, okay, we're down 1, what are we going to go in from here? Because with Polly on that Pharah, it gives Atmiyoko a little bit more room on that Hanzo or that Widowmaker. But if Randolpho can get that quick pick, it already gives Citizens the player advantage to really push into that point. And we've seen that they have the ability to do that when they get a quick pick. At the beginning of the first round, when Pro Gamer took down Killer Kel, it gave them the wonderful opportunity to just quickly push into that point.
Yeah. So it looks like here they finally finished all of the map choices, and it looks like we're going to 66. Both teams are readying up now, but that's playing, in my sense, that's playing into the wheelhouse of Superior here. Very Pharah-friendly map here on the first two parts. So I'm wondering if Polly's going to go back up into the air, both on even offense and defense here, just because he's so comfortable on that pick. But it looks like Polly's going to go Genji here just to start off. Very similar to what happened on Nepal, just starting off with the Genji here. And Miyoko going to the Widow. And I think they're just hiding a bit of their the configurations here before they actually come out and charge out. So it will be Superior here on defense first, with the Citizens attacking. So it looks like the Citizens, though, are ready and willing to go. Looks like they've already locked in their choices. And yeah, it looks like here, that can't be right.
I hope it's not right.
So yeah, there it is. Killer Kel goes to the Reinhardt. Gohan going to the Zenyatta here. Atmiyoko and Poly playing what they played on the initial map of Nepal with the Widow and the Genji here. So very interesting picks. They're going to try to see if Atmiyoko can shut down Programmer 360 in order to just sort of give his team a little bit of space here and to make sure that Citizens are a little bit gun shy and not going to be openly attacking. They're going to want to stay behind Obelisk. Do you see anything else here from either team, maybe strategy-wise, Bryce, what we should be probably looking for?
We do see time off of the Lucio or the Zen, definitely, you know, a healer that can really help put out damage off of those healers and onto a Brigitte, which can be definitely good for a brawling comp, which we do see Citizens running here. But we already see that quick damage onto Obelisk, so already giving Daddy something to do at the very beginning of the round as Superior is getting set up on the high ground for this first point defense.
Yeah, looks like Atmiyoko and Randolfo here are going to be sort of Widow versus Widowing, so it'll be really, really important for Atmiyoko to see if he can take Programmer down really, really early. But it looks like they're just poking here at the top of Big Earls. Nobody really being any aggressive, nobody coming out. Here comes Polly immediately right onto the point here, just trying to sort of mess with Daddy and Obelisk as they're coming out. All right, and there goes Programmer 360, gets with the boop, knocks down, looks like Killer Kel went down, but Atmiyoko took down Daddy Healer. So no mercy on the side of the Citizens right now. So, but Obelisk, big fire strike, takes out both Air and Atmiyoko, making some space for the team. There's nobody on the payload though, so it hasn't really gone anywhere. They're gonna just concentrate on, I guess, winning this fight. Polly's still delaying. Randolfo goes crazy. 3 picks there, and now that was a straight win by the Citizens. So
definitely,
yeah. So it looks like Killer Kel is going to try to possibly re-engage. Looks like he's just burning his shield here. Programmer 360 just sort of holding him off. Killer Kel goes down, and there's going to be no challenge here on this point. Air charges in. No main tank here on the charge. This is not going to end well for Superior. Supersonic gets Air back up, but it might be all for naught. They're just sort of burning time here, and it looks like the advantage here with the Citizens. They were able to push back all of Superior here, and they were going to get the long spawn.
Exactly, and it kind of puts Superior at a bit of a disadvantage here with all of Citizens on the point ready, but we do see Pro Gamer giving Atmiyoko a little bit of trouble on top of that Saloon, but we do see the rest of Superior coming in to support the DPS going in, but we do see 3 ults on on Citizen sides, a Barrage and Valk as well as an Earth Shatter, so we might be seeing a Barrage Shatter going in, but we do see Rally being popped at the beginning of this fight from time to give their team some extra armor, and a Dragon Blade going off early in this fight.
Yeah, that was actually good, well timed. They waited until the very end to actually pop it. Big Earth Shatter comes in. Era gets but a Transcendence here from Gohan to sort of help Superior on the defense here. Atmiyoko does take down Daddy again. Daddy Healer having serious trouble against that Widow. Programmer though takes down Atmiyoko, and now the kills coming in from Citizen. Programmer, huge, goes huge, takes Polly and Air down, and that payload is moving. It looks like both healers are now trapped in the back. Supersonic here gets taken down, and Gohan takes a mortar to the face, and Citizens are moving along.
Citizens are definitely just walking through Superior's defense. They don't seem to have much of a plan to go against this really brawl-heavy comp, with Pro Gamer separated from the rest of the team and giving Superior snipers a run for their money, not letting them get set up in a position. As we see, Atmiyoko on the Hanzo requires a little bit less of setup, more mobile damage output. Yeah, but we do see only an Earth Shatter on the field and a quick frame strike from Killer Kel on that Pharah.
Yeah, the Programmer was probably going to switch anyway. No, actually gets immediately rezzed, and right into a Graviton. Uh-oh, not good. Polly and Air get take out actually Time and Daddy, so it actually goes in reverse. Gohan is getting rezzed there in the back. Obelisk is by himself on the payload, and down go the Citizens. Superior there. Actually, great stuff, stalling them at the front door. It looks like there's going to be some no switches here up. They're being a little stubborn here on point 3. The Citizens, they're going to go with this sort of non-conventional Pharah here. It can work. You just have to be very, very careful because you don't have the 3-dimensional verticality that you would have in the rest of the map. So as they're pushing in on Killer Kel here, Killer Kel just sort of backing up, giving a little bit of space here to the Citizens as they're pushing through. he's gonna have to be careful here. He's gonna be super important. That shield has got, oh! Earth Shatter goes right through the shield, and Programmer 360 with a huge take down! Huge! Down goes Superior! Non-conventional in my face! Polly gets taken out. Programmer going huge on that Fura on point 3. Don't listen to this caster. Programmer going fantastic as they come through. That payload is still moving, and they're almost there. Now, this is where the advantage for Superior is going to come in. They're going to have the spawn advantage, and here comes the ult by Polly. He's going to try to do some more. Akioka takes out, but here comes the Dragon right across the payload there. Air takes out Obelisk, so no main tank here from the Citizens. That's going to make it hard for them to push. They're probably going to retreat here, going to look for an extra kill. No, Daddy's running away. He's discorded and dead, and that's going to be it. Superior get the hold here, but with 2:51 here left on the clock, Superior got their backs against the wall.
As you saying, you know, Fui did that non-conventional Pharah. Pro Gamer with 5 kills in that last push. 1 before that barrage, 3 with the barrage, and then 1 more on Polly as he was running back to get that little extra bit of healing back in spawn. But we do see Graviton coming in on Daddy, so it's up to Pro Gamer to build up that barrage once again, as Gohan just popped his trance, so Superior does not have a response to that barrage, so they're gonna have to be really careful that they stay separated and that they can use whatever space that they can.
Yeah, it looks like here, though, they're going to get bunched up, and here comes the Graviton. Swing away, Obelisk. It's free for you. You get 2. Daddy gets the rest. It looks like it's non-stop here for the Citizens. They have the real advantage. It's all kills. That kill feed is nothing but red. Atmiyoko trying to stall as best as he can. Here comes the payload. Will anybody be able to stop them? No, I think that's going to be it. Graviton to make sure they don't contest. And round 1, very good push here by the Citizens as they cap all 3 points on Route 6.
Definitely, and it seems like Superior had more of an answer for that Pharah near the end of that fight, but then when that barrage came out, they were just playing catch up for the rest of that fight. That payload just kept moving forward and kept moving. Pro Gamer was on that Pharah nearly uncontested as Atmiyoko was on that Hanzo. Had his ult at the very end there, but was knocked off of the payload and wasn't able to contest, and as he was respawning, seemed like he might have been able to use it there, but didn't get back in time, and it just left Citizens the ability to walk straight through. But it only left them with 1:50 in the bank for on defense if Superior can manage to get all 3 points going into this on this round on attack.
Yeah, and the reason the first push failed, it seemed like Polly actually got a great reflect kill on Pro Gamer as he was going ham. So very rare to see a Genji be able to sort of like get a fair reflect kill that way, just because usually of the distance involved. But fantastic there by the Citizens. So this looks like their map. 150 on the clock here is an eternity on this map. Teams barely finish Route 66, but to finish it with almost 2 minutes in the bank is absolutely impressive. So now we see Superior lining up for their push. It could be that they're going with a pirate here with Killer Kell and Air on the Orisa, with Polly here on the Bastion. Would this be something that you've seen before, Bryce?
From Superior, not particularly, but it does fall down to Atmiyoko to keep Pro Gamer out of Polly's and Air's sight, because once he gets in and behind that shield, Polly and Air are just going to be stuck tanking all of that damage without much of a response. We do see Superior running 2 main tanks, and that's a lot of shield. So if Killer Kell can keep that shield on a 360-degree swivel, then they might have a chance to push his payload all the way without having to switch up off of this pirate ship.
Yeah, and it looks like Citizens was just not necessarily ready for it, and Randall takes out Atmiyoko. Randolfo also takes out Gohan, so 2 big kills here. And this is going to be the downfall of the pirate ship. Pirate ship gets obliterated on the point. It looks like Pro Gamer takes out Supersonic and immediately stopped right in front of Big Girls. Get out of here with that stuff. Superior, no. Citizens say no.
C-Team definitely with the response to that pirate ship. Shut that down immediately. Superior taking the hit and switching off of it, going for a more conventional Genji and Zarya with this comp that we've seen them run before.
Yeah, and immediately they reset the comp here, and it looks like Polly has gone to the Genji, and and like Era has gone to the Zarya. The problem here is that they lost their ult percentage. Any ult percentage they would have built up is now gone and to the win. Pro Gamer takes out 2, so it looks like here, looks like Superior's having real issues, and at Miyoko gets taken down by Pro Gamer. And just a lot of problems here for Superior coming out. They can't engage clean. I would advise that they need to get a full reset here, because them screaming out and just feeding kills is not going to happen. With Randolfo taking Gohan out again, just going all wrong for Superior. And it looks like Supersonic got Gohan back up for them to actually start the push now. They're going to go up the train and up around. No, it looks like Killer Kel drops to the ground. That payload has backed all the way up to the corner, and it looks like the Citizens have 3 ults that they can use to sort of keep...
Watch for Barrage here.
Yeah, Barrage going to be coming out.
Oh!
And a Barrage takes out Supersonic and at Miyoko, so Pro Gamer 360 just doing work. Citizens not allowing anything to come through. It is a slaughter here. Citizens just taking their vengeance out of from map 1 out on them on 66 here. Minute 30 here left on the clock. What can Superior do here, Bryce, to actually get out of this first point?
It just seems Amiyoko is being out-sniped by Randolfo, and when he can get the ability to give himself some breathing room, Pro Gamer is right there and has the answer for that, and it's just punishing Amiyoko. Again, Pro Gamer nailing him with that rocket and going for Supersonic.
And it looks like here Pro Gamer takes out Supersonic. Kills getting traded here back and forth. And it looks like a Polly's going right after the backline. He wants to take Randolfo out. Absolutely. Down goes Randolfo. That was the big problem that was on the Citizens here. Now they open up some space for themselves. Time goes down, and finally here they might have a good advantage. It looks like 5v3. Obelisk trying to sort of hold out here on the point as best as he can. Graviton here comes out with Transcendence here, trying to protect the rest of the team. Good time there by Gohan. Supersonics has had that Valkyrie popped out, so they were overlapping ult here, and a Graviton here catches both Daddy and the 2 Daddies. Down goes Daddy 1 and 2, and now they're getting movement here. They are staggered like crazy, and Citizens here have to reset.
We did see while all that was going on, Pro Gamer was in Superior's backline, holding on to that barrage as he knocked down Supersonic, and at Miyoko just barely missed Gohan, but we see Randolfo knocking him out at the beginning of this fight with the barrage going off and getting 2 kills.
Yeah, Pro Gamer going off. That's 3 kills. Just a mercy for good measure here, and overtime ticks down. And the Citizens. Wow. Good job.
Polly unable to get that dash into the point, was shield bashed by time. What a wonderful hold by Citizens, and of course, a play of the game from Pro Gamer here. Wondering which barrage exactly it was going on this attack, obviously.
And it's the great barrage here on their final push. Oh, just started off with a great Earth Shatter there. That opened up all the space, and down goes Superior. So now we are tied each at 1-1 in this very enthralling match between Superior and the Citizens. My goodness.
Definitely, and especially these past 2 matches have very one-sided. Superior taking both points back to back, even though there was some contesting for those points. Superior still managed to hold both of them away from Citizens, but Citizens definitely had the upper hand on both attack and defense with Pro Gamer on that Pharah, who did not seem to be contested by Amiyoko on that Widowmaker.
Yeah, and the thing about it is Randolfo was doing so much damage in the back. I honestly don't blame Polly for popping that blade and going right after him. You needed to do something, and you noticed that Superior was able to finally get that push off once Randolfo was off the field. So
exactly.
So like maybe they could have done it a little earlier, and maybe they could have gone to maybe of a dive comp. I know that they were running into a Brigitte there, but they needed to do something to get Randolfo down. And if that meant like just diving it on him, that might have been what Superior were needing in that first map, because that a lot of that DPS was sort of coming in. And it looks like we have a substitution here for Superior. Fear Hype coming in for at Miyoko. So a bit of a switch here. So I'm not exactly sure. Fear Hype here. Let's look at his profile real quick. It looks like a current competitive season is a Junkrat Reinhardt combo. So looking maybe a DPS for DPS switch here for Superior, trying to figure out what they can do here on the next map.
Definitely, and no changes on Citizen side. I wouldn't exactly say that they would need that. If they can continue with this very aggressive and high damage output from Pro Gamer and Rendolfo, both Daddies and Obelisk, all they have to do is just stay behind Obelisk's shield, while the rest of Superior seems to just scramble for a response. Poly dive in their backline when he was able to, but when he wasn't able to have any support, really kind of just left it to Atmiyoko to try and take down Pro Gamer. When he was unable to do that, I think it was smart for for Superior to switch him out, get Fear Hype in. Maybe we'll see Fear Hype either on DPS or Ryan. Killer Kel is having an okay game. Definitely some moments where he's able to pop off, but from my experience, I'm more used to seeing Atmiyoko on that aggressive main tank role, which in my opinion, I think is what Superior needed to combat Citizens, because on that first point of Route 66, where both teams were kind of just poking at each other, trying to find the weakness, it was really in Citizens' favor, because while no picks were being made, that cart was just being continually pushed forward. And the second that they got a pick, both teams were able, or the team that got a pick was able to crash, and that really worked in Citizens' favor.
Yeah, absolutely. And here it looks like Rendolfo going back to the Widow here. They need to do something with regards to dealing with his Widow, because his Widow has been absolutely fantastic today. Now it looks like looks like Fear Hype here, maybe going to the Tracer? No, just sort of cycling through picks here, Superior. So you're right. I think they would have had a bit of an advantage if they were able to get help to Poly to get help into the back. So even though like the Citizens were running sort of a half anti-dive comp, maybe trying to focus and maybe deal and use your spawn advantage to take out anybody you can in the back that was sort of doing the range damage on your team, to just sort of flip the fight 6v5 or possibly 6v4 to give yourself an advantage there would have been needed here for Superior. But now Superior here on the defense are going to be using Poly here on the Pharah, which is a very Pharah-friendly first point. This is going to be one of those things in which Rendolfo here is going to be looking for Poly almost right away, but Fear Hype here going to the Brigitte. So I thought maybe Fear Hype was going to be tanking here, but it looks like going to be on the ground with the Holy Triumvirate of Killer Kel on the Rhine and Air on the Zarya. So that's the big three combo that we're normally used to seeing here on the ground. For the Citizens here, it looks like Pro Gamer 360 is going to take that duel with Poly in the air, and Rendolfo will be trying to take out anybody else here on the ground.
We definitely don't see much of a anti-Pharah on Superior side, so it'll be interesting to see if Poly is going to be focusing on Pro Gamer the entirety of this battle.
Yeah, I would say that Poly might be going after sort of the ground unit. But Poly takes out Pro Gamer, and down goes that threat. So Pro Gamer down and out here, not going to be able to sort of help on the push. Pro Gamer immediately comes back up, but Rendolfo takes out Killer Kel. That was what they needed. No main tank here, but Supersonic trying to get the res in. Killer Kel comes back. So still 6v6 here, but Rendolfo got taken down. Daddy actually razzes Rendolfo back up, but it looks like already they're going to be in the retreat. Fear Hype got charged and killed by Obelisk, so they lose their Brigitte here, a slight advantage here, but Obelisk goes down, was still engaged with Killer Kel, and they're going to have to wait for Obelisk to come back before they can attack.
It was definitely smart play by Poly there. After he took out Pro Gamer, he still held behind this corner next to Hotel, because Rendolfo still had perfect sightline on this pharmacy and wasn't able to get a pick on him. And we see him knocking Pro Gamer out of the sky once again. Who needs hit scan when you have Poly running Pharah?
Yeah, that's right. And Poly now making that fight a hell of a lot easier here for Superior as they sort of push through. Obelisk finally comes back. And Earthshatter, counter Earthshatter comes through. Back and forth go the Earthshatter. Rendolfo takes out Gohan, so that's going to open up. No healer on one, missing a healer here on the side, and an immediate rally popped by both sides. Fear Hype and Time pop the rallies as they're coming through. So massive amounts of healing. Graviton comes in, takes out Daddy, and Obelisk and Daddy Zarya are caught in it too. Here comes Pro Gamer with this all, takes out Fear Hype in the middle. The advantage here going to the Citizens. They're going to get advantage here. They just got to be able to sort of do anything they can. Pro Gamer takes out Air and Supersonic, and that is a team kill, and the Citizens are going to cap point A.
Very interesting choice by Air to pop that Graviton so close to the point where not much damage, where Polly was still on his way back and very close to his barrage and could have capitalized on that.
Yeah, and it looks like here the Citizens here not opting to be aggressive and push up while the payload is actually coming out of the garage here. They're going to allow Superior here to set up point A deep, first turn defense here. So Superior's going to give up a little bit of space and try to make the fight at this corner. But it looks like Poly Barrage takes out time, so they lose the Brigade, but they also lose Poly, so it's a 1v1 trade here. Probably still advantageous here for the Citizens. Graviton comes in, takes, catches most everyone, but the it looks like the Transcendence was late, was unable to help Supersonic, but down goes Superior! Obelisk, swing away, my man! You just got two, and the payload is moving.
Gohan can pop that trans all day long, but when Obelisk charged through and picked Supersonic out of that wonderfully just compacted collection of Superior, unable to heal through such a massive damage as a Reinhardt charge. And once the rest of the team was out of that and tried to spread out, his wide arc of a hammer just collected more hits and knocks more Superior out, winning them the fight.
Yeah, Superior here got to be careful. They've got to win this fight. They can really have a really great advantage here, but no, 2 kills already. They're down 65 because Killer Kell gets res, but no, Fear Hype gets taken down too. This is going the way of the Citizens. They are just pushing straight through. Obelisk actually gets a kill here. Killer Kell doing his best to try to hold the point, and they're trying their best here. Valkyrie popped here by Supersonic, and it looks like a rally was also popped to sort of finish off the fight here. They get point B, and there is 4 minutes here on the clock. Superior are in a bit of trouble here as the Citizens showing their expertise on escort maps.
Definitely, and it's almost an identical attack that they pushed on 66, and it's definitely giving Superior. They have the time to think of a more of a concise strategy to fight with this, but all we see is a rally being popped by Fear Hype in preparation for this fight, and Air is the only one with a Graviton as it pops right now.
Yeah, it looked like a Graviton cap was done specifically for Randolfo there in the back. Daddy actually takes out Fear Hype here, so down goes the Brigade here on defense, and it looks like they're gonna still keep going here. Looks like Killer Kell trying to do his best to sort of hold off this push. Obelisk with the charge actually ends up catching Supersonic. That Transcendence will do nothing. Killer Kell though takes out Obelisk, and now they are just sort of holding here on point 2. It looks like a retreat here. Polly going to town.
Battle Mercy!
Battle Mercy, but it's going to be a fight win here for Superior. They're going to make the Citizens reset with 2:50 on the clock.
Insult to injury being knocked at the very tail end of your ult by a Battle Mercy, but we do see Citizens switching Randolfo off of the Widowmaker onto the McCree to more counteract that Poly on that Pharah even more, but Pro Gamer with that Barrage and Daddy with that Graviton, leaving Superior not much of a response as both of their supports are down in ult. So Superior is going to be in trouble for this next push.
Yeah, rally here popped by time to give themselves a little bit of ult here. They need to draw out this Graviton. Ooh, a Graviton, there it is. And oh, Pro Gamer goes down! Oh, he gets a big 4K with the help of the rest of the team. It is a team goal, and they need you to keep 3 on the payload. They should push up. They need to start blocking the doors if they can to just sort of give themselves as much time, but will they be able to get back to the point? Killer Kell's gonna charge right back onto the point. Graviton comes in, it's actually right on the payload. They're actually 0.31 meters. Their Earth Shatter comes out, doesn't really get anyone. Fear Hype actually kills Randolfo on the McCree, so they're gonna be able to sort of hold here. Pro Gamer needs to go ham again, but kills are going on the side of Superior. Superior gets to push them back. 1:30 here on the clock. They got it almost there, but now the advantage is strictly in Superior's wheelhouse. They will be in the back here. They have to go through the rest of 66 66 to get to that payload. They have 2 pushes at best.
Definitely, and the unsung hero of that push on Citizen side was Obelisk with that Earth Shatter. Supersonic was getting ready to pop that res safely behind that payload, or so they thought, as that Earth Shatter came in, knocked them out of that, and gave Daddy and Pro Gamer the time and ability to combo as Deadeye comes in and kicks out Polly right after he's rezzed.
Oh, Polly just eating it 2 in a row. That is not good. Great transcendence here by Gohan. It's going to save the rest of his team. They need to make sure that they get at least a kill. Pro Gamer. No! Killer Kill goes down. Erickson also goes down on that team. A big Earth Shatter here. Polly trying to do anything he can to sort of kill the rest of this team. No! Polly does take out Time and Randolpho, but it might just be too much. Down goes Polly, and this is going to Air trying to stall as best as he can on the payload. Now Killer Kill on the looks like on the looks like they're gonna try to stall here. Supersonic full stall comp here. Supersonic on that Lucio trying stalling. Looks like a maze coming out too. Oh my god, it's a complete
Superior pulling out all the stops as Deadeye comes in.
And it looks like they're gonna try to pop the Valkyrie here to just overcome the DPS. They leave 10 seconds left on the clock, which is important. But at the same time, they were almost able to get it all the way down to 0, which would have been super important here for Superior. But 9.5 seconds left on the clock, which means even if Superior finish, Citizens will have another go at it.
And what a hold by Superior on that. The very quick picks from Air to Tracer to Diva, back to Tracer to try and contest as much as they can. Supersonic on the Lucio. With that healing constantly going in for them, just running around the payload, trying to keep themselves alive, giving Superior a little bit of extra time and confidence to go through and push that defense even more. But C-Team in the end, Randolpho on that McCree getting Deadeye after left-clicking heads all on Superior. Citizens just had a more effective attack than Superior's defense.
Yeah, and let's hope Superior can do way better here on King's Row than they did on 66. Now, they've got to make sure 2 things here. They deal somehow, some way. They have to make sure that Randolpho does not go off again and just keep stalling here at the payload. And they have to make sure that they can sort of nullify this tendency for them to sort of stream in. They are better when they are attacking S6, as they were having issues just sort of getting staggered to death on 66, which was making it so much easier here for the Citizens to sort of deal with the defense. So 16 seconds here left on the clock, and Superior going with Polly in the air. So Polly and Supersonics will be in the air, so they've got to be very cognizant of Randolpho on that Widow. And Pro Gamer here on defense here will also be in the air. So going to try to take out that Brigade from Killer Kel, as Fear Hype has now gone to, is going to be main tanking here and dealing with the offense. As they sort of pursue poking in, it looks like Polly is staying way around the corner after noticing where Randolpho is positioned. Polly actually zooms across just to make sure he doesn't get picked off here. Daddy chasing him all the way into the air. Look at this Diva sort of focusing in, trying to deal with this pharmacy. So they're definitely not ignoring. Fearheart goes in for the charge, gets in way deep, and is still alive. Good job there. Air actually takes out Obelisk, and Fearheart making a ton of space. Polly actually gets Daddy down. Killer Kel takes out the opposing Brigade, and down goes the defense for the Citizens. This is not the team we saw on 66. They're going to be able to deal with point A here, and it's just a matter of time between Pro Gamer gets taken out. Great shot there by Polly. Obelisk comes back to contest, but it's going to be a little bit of problems here. Obelisk doesn't want to get staggered here, but he's not necessarily on the... And a big Earth Shatter comes through, and Gohan has to burn Transcendence here to try to keep the team up, but Polly and Fearheart go down. Randolpho doing what Randolpho does, taking out 2. Counter Earth Shatter here by Fearhype. Oh, Supersonic gets charged, and it looked like this was going to be a take by Superior, and it's been flipped on its head. Obelisk going huge there. Pro Gamer takes out Gohan, and a reset coming through from Superior.
We saw Superior going into this with a very brawl-heavy comp. They were ready to get down and dirty with Citizens, but with that Diva, with Daddy on Diva, it was a little bit of a little bit of a confusion as Polly had to not only focus on Pro Gamer, Randolfo, but also with Daddy on that Pharah, leaving the rest of the team kind of in a little bit of a flux. All that healing going on in Fearhive still wasn't enough to keep him alive until the very at the very end of that fight. But now we see them getting ready to. As a Graviton comes in.
Yeah, Graviton comes in and he charges in right away. They combo this ult, and that's gonna do it for them. They get 5 here. There's no way they're gonna be able to stall anymore. And Pro Gamer just says, "I'm out of here." So he gets out of dodge, and this is going to be a take here for Superior. Great combo there by Air.
But we definitely do see Citizens with a closer spawn, giving them less. They have the time to get set up. As Superior is pushing out, aware of the spawn advantage that they currently have at the moment.
Yeah, Polly tried to get a little bit aggressive here, and Polly realized that Polly was by himself and had to fall back and gets taken out by Randolfo. It looks like Supersonic gets Polly back up, so they're going to have 6 here for the street space here. Got to be careful. Pro Gamer takes out Polly, so Polly goes down again, but Gohan takes out Obelisk, and trades here going back and forth, but Pro Gamer going ham. Takes out 3, 2 healers and a Zarya for Pro Gamer. So like, if you're counting and scoring at home, that was 3 kills. Pro Gamer here on the point, just holding it off by himself.
Living up to the name in the best way possible.
So for those scoring at home, Zarya is worth 5 points and the healer is worth 10. So
it looks like Pro Gamer walking home with some high scores tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like here they're behind the wall. They're trapped right under this sort of archway, and that is not a good place to start, but they're going to give them a little bit of room here to sort of push them through. So as they're sort of engaging here on the point, they've got to be careful. Oh, goes around the payload to Earthshatter to take out Gohan. Killer Kel gets taken out too. Healers down here for Superior, having still more issues. The Supersonic takes up Gohan, and a rally gets popped here by Time, so that's going to establish them on this payload. It looks like here the Superior here not backing down. They're going to try to burn him down, but Randall takes out Polly again. Polly just doesn't have the space here to move around like he absolutely needs to. Randolfo taking all of the advantage here, and Pro Gamer!
Pro Gamer!
Pro Gamer takes out 4. 3 healers, Zarya, and Fear Hype gets taken out by Daddy for good measure, and back to the drawing board goes Superior.
I'm beginning to question if Superior just likes the rain. If it's been a little dry for them. They want to enjoy the weatherman called for justice today, and Pro Gamer is definitely fulfilling that role.
Yeah, Missy Elliott's "I Can't Stand the Rain" on repeat here from Superior as they try to engage again. They have to deal with Pro Gamer here, but the problem is if they try to deal with Pro Gamer, they have Randolfo in the back backing him up. So very, very problematic here for Superior as they come in. Killer Cal here has gone to the Diva here, just trying to dive in and try to get anybody he can. Time takes out Air. The Tracer just not going to be able to do anything in the back. Time taking out both supports here, but kills now coming on the side of Superior. It is sort of helping out. Polly does take out Randolfo here, and it looks like they're going to get some movement here on the payload. Obelisk has sort of been trapped here behind the lines. He's going to get taken out, and this Winston change by Fear Hype is helping. They have 52 seconds here to get to point B. Hopefully they're going to be able to get some movement here as the Citizens here have to reset a little bit.
And definitely that choice from Superior to switch to that dive, even though they're running against a Brigida, they did do that against C-Team and they were still effective, but especially when they dive, Randolfo in the backline, who doesn't have the Brigida to support him, dive can still be extremely effective, as we saw with Fear Hype.
Yeah, it looks like the kills coming in on the side of the Citizens here. They've been able to establish, and this is problematic. There's 18 seconds here left on the clock. They needed to win this fight. They need to clear point B. 12 seconds left on the clock. Air is going to be able to be sort of pushing into overtime unless he gets body blocked or killed. But they've got to be cognizant of the time. 5 seconds left. Are they going to be able to make it back? I don't think so.
Graviton on Daddy's bank, it didn't seem like even if they could get close, that was going to be popped and wasn't going to be able to be stopped. And yeah, my goodness, Pro Gamer Please.
With the play of the game there, but Pro Gamer getting facilitated here by the Zarya. So therefore, Pro Gamer here comboing very nicely. This is great communication of letting them know when that was going to come up, and great positioning here by Pro Gamer, taking out all of the citizens there with the barrage. Gohan with 11,000 healing on a Zenyatta there with 5,000 on Transcendence, doing a lot of the dirty work there. Could have been worse without the Transcendence, honestly. So good stuff there by Gohan, trying to save his team up. But we are now 2 to the citizens, 1 to Superior here, and Superior, I think, very happy to see an end to the payload map, I think. so we're going to go to 2. I think is it 2CP? I think it might be 2CP now, because we did the King of the Hill here at the beginning, so it will be citizens will choose the ban. So Superior here, like, have their choice of maps. Do you know what they might be thinking on when it comes to
on the front of my mind, they did have a very aggressive push on Hanamura. I did with their game against C Team, didn't have much of a response to that incredibly, and we saw just now Superior is very effective and aggressive with their dive comp, but without that with that choice so late, as they just managed to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and running their heads into a wall without thinking of a response to Citizens' superior defense, for lack of a better word. They made the smart choice to switch to dive, but not until the very end, when it didn't really help them. They had all that time to build their ults. That Diva ult can build quickly if you're putting out enough damage and eating with your defense matrix, and putting out a lot of damage, and that Primal Rage can be really helpful when there's only one person on that point, or to just jump in, pop it, just keep Randolfo busy for a little bit, give Polly some breathing room so he can come in, deal some extra damage. He did have his barrage, only managed to get 1 kill on the push just out of that archway, but once it got to that point and all of C-Team came in after being pushed back, just wasn't in Superior's favor. And again, we see them on Hanamura, a map that they are very comfortable with, and I've seen them be very aggressive and very effective on, almost banking just over 6 minutes, if I remember correctly, last time that we saw them on attack.
Oh, the 6-minute club is a very rare club indeed. So, like, only 2 pro teams, I think it's the Dallas Fuel and the Seoul Dynasty, were able to be in the 6-minute club when it comes to Hanamura. So that shows a little bit of expertise here, but it will be Citizens here on offense first, and looks like here no real changes on their configuration. They're solid with what they have. They feel like that what they have is good to go here on offense. So it will be Randolfo staying on the Widow on offense here, trying to get some picks from the doorway. You probably won't expect to see him come through, while you see Obelisk and Daddy actually going to be pairing up with Time on the Brigitte. So they're probably going to look for a pick here from Poe Gamer, who's going to go over the wall maybe and try to get into the back lines. But on defense here, Polly and Supersonic will be teamed up in the back, sort of raining death here into that sort of choke, where it looks like they're going to allow sort of they're going with this sort of triple support lineup. So no real hit scan to sort of counter Pro Gamer here, and that might be a problem. As they sort of push through, Obelisk actually gets through the doorway along with Time and Daddy, and it looks like they're just sort of pushing aggressive right here onto the choke here, showing no fear at all. The Polly actually takes out Pro Gamer here on defense, so Pro Gamer has to back up. Fear Hype takes out Obelisk, and that. I think that's going to be that's going to put a stop to that offense right away.
It definitely seemed like Superior was scrambling, as they weren't expecting Citizens to just walk straight through that doorway. But as soon as Pro Gamer went down, and as soon as Superior got another pick. They were able to push them back, but now we see them. Spawns are back in. They're already pushing straight through that doorway with an Earth Shatter coming in.
Yeah, and that rally from Time came super fast. He had come through the doorway with the rest of his tanks and was just able to develop a rally right on that second push. They're just pushing right onto the point here. Randolpho takes out Killer Kel, so down goes the Brigade, and immediately it looks like Superior have to sort of back up. Polly though takes out Randolpho and takes out Pro Gamer while Gohan deals with Randolpho, but it's still the citizens here on point. It looks like just a matter of cleanup here. Nobody's going to be able to contest, and they're going to have a good chunk of change here in the clock to attack Hanamura Point B.
Exactly, 6 minutes and 20 seconds to grab this second point. We do see tons of ults on both sides. Killer Kel popping that rally not prematurely, but early as Superior takes high ground. We've seen them run this before. They can be very effective. They held C team for just over 5 minutes on the high ground as they didn't have a response to it. Both Zaryas have Graviton, so we might be seeing a combo from either Pro Gamer or Polly to try and run this clock it down a little higher. As Polly with a double kill.
Yeah, speaking of the devil on the combos there, it looked like Polly actually doing some work. They were looking for an angle to use the Graviton by Daddy, and they just couldn't do it. And that was what put them there. But actually, it's okay, because essentially you're drawing out ults here on defense. So Fear Hype takes out Daddy, and a reset here is going to have to, a full reset's going to come up for the Citizens, but you look at the ult percentages from the Citizens, they're going to have 5 here if they can get a clean engage. So everybody's going to have their ult up, and Randolpho is just going to try to establish himself on the far ground, trying to make sure that he can sort of get some clean looks at the at Superior here on their defense. They've got tons of time. They don't want to rush it. Down Main Street is where they're going to go, and immediately it looks like Pro Gamers get shielded from the Zarya. He doesn't want to get picked off. This forces the defense to come down. Obelisk charges in, gets Fear Hype right off. Earth Shatter comes down. Daddy is exposed. Gotta be careful there. Obelisk was distorted and charged. And Fear Hype going ham. Res on Polly as he was taken out early on in the fight. Randolpho takes out Supersonic. This fight is pretty much over though, without a main tank here on the side of the Citizens. So Citizens have to back up here. This fight didn't really get off to what they wanted to be. But 5 gonna be 6 ult here. They're gonna have a big 6 push in next time round. So what are they gonna have to be able to do here, Bryce, to get this push right?
It definitely comes down to Gohan's timing with that trans. We see Graviton and Barrage coming in as Rally gets popped. If Gohan can time that trans right and keep his team alive through these ults.
Oh, and a great combo there. Pro Gamer takes out 3 while Fear Hype was actually on the ground. He had actually gone to engage the ground, but Gohan was not. Oh, Earth Shatter! He fell off the ledge. No! He couldn't do it. He couldn't hit it. So now everybody's sort of scattered to the wind here. Fear Hype gets charged. Pro Gamer just trying to focus down, takes down the Reinhardt in there. Obelisk with some help. Now they're just sort of streaming in. Looks like Rally here is popped by Killer Kel, who immediately gets taken down. They're not going to be able to do anything by it. Looks like Randolpho has established himself into the back. Now this is all about focus fire here. They got to make sure they focus and take out the targets that they need to take out. Charge comes through from Fear Hype, and he wasn't able to move Obelisk out of the way. That Graviton is still on the point. That they're getting charged here, and they get the point. 3:16 on the clock. Randolpho in the back, not allowing people to come through. Great Widow play there, and they weren't able to get the stall out. So great offense finally there from the Citizens. They were able to use all of their ults properly and get the point that they needed with tons of time here left on the clock.
Exactly, and it was a very smart play by Citizens. They had all that extra time, and they knew that all they had to do was just whittle down Superior's ult advantage. And once they did that, all they had to really do was just pop 1 or 2 ults with that Barrage and that Graviton on that high ground, especially with Gohan falling down with Fear Hype that left all their squishies on Superior just alone, and right for that Barrage to just come in and clean up. But again, Randolpho on that Widowmaker, almost uncontested on that high ground, picking off shots on the Pharah, on Supersonic in the middle of their Valkyrie. But again, an unlucky shatter by Fear Hype as he was knocked onto that lower level in the middle of his Earth Shatter. Wasn't able to get anybody and had to go through the walk of shame of walking back to the stairs alone.
Yeah, as a person who has 100 hours on Reinhardt, that is the worst feeling in the world. The thing about it is Fear Hype was trying his damnedest to get them off the point. He had charged a couple times right from spawn to see if he could catch anyone to knock them off and take him along with him, and it just wasn't happening. As soon as he missed everyone, he needed to sort of angle himself towards a corner in order to sort of save himself, but he did it, and it was just no joy on any of his charges. Yeah, the real issue there was that there was a lack of communication, I think, and a coordination, most likely, on the side of Superior when they were jumping down, because if Gohan was able to trans there, that would have saved the team from that sort of combo Graviton barrage. But it looks like here now they are on offense, and they're going to move in. They have a Lucio here on the field, so they're looking to speed boost through, I think. They just sort of want to go through and just sort of charge at them as fast as they can. YOLO strategy takes out Obelisk and down. Oh, it looks like they've lost two. Fear Hype and Killer Kel are also down. Looks like kills going onto the side of the citizens here.
And we're seeing Rendolfo off of the Widowmaker onto the the Zenyatta that took Fear Hype out of the game.
Yeah, it's actually a great switch. Like, Rendolfo has good aim, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a Widowmaker here. Trying to do his sort of inner Jonak impression, takes out the last two, and now it looks like it's a reset here by Superior, and they might gonna try to sort of speed this again. I think their main strategy here is to try to get onto the point as fast as they can without dying. So Killer Kel is going to try to sort of kick that speed boost in as soon as they're at the doorway. Fear Hype has got to be careful here. He's going to be discorded every time as he's coming through that doorway, so they're going to be trying to target him. They lose their main tank. They're going to lose this push. Looks like, Earth Shatter comes in. Obelisk takes out Fear Hype. Down he goes, and it looks like a rally is now popped here by Time, and it's just not going to work. Killer Kel and Polly are taken down too, and it looks like Superior here is going to back up. Again,
very risky res.
Very risky res here by them, but it now looks like there's still leftover armor here on the side of the citizens with 316. 316 here on the clock. It looks like my clock is not moving. I'm not exactly sure what is going on with my game.
I think we're about just at 2 minutes for Superior on this push. The 316 is for citizens. I'm not sure why.
Oh, there we go.
But
there we go. So for some reason it seemed like the clock wasn't moving. 153 here on the clock. Oh god. Oh god.
It helps if you look at the right team.
Yeah, the right team. There we go. 147 here left on the clock. There we go. And it looks like Fear Hype has now stalled in front on the doorway. He has to be able to sort of get through there. They need a kill. Pro Gamer and Obelisk. Oh no! Pro Gamer in the background takes out 3. And takes out Gohan just to make sure. Team kill here, 130 here on the clock. They need to get through. Superior, look at desperation time here on their side. They need to capture this point. But the ult advantage here on the side of the citizens here. Bryce, what is going wrong here?
It just seems that Superior is having trouble reacting to citizens pushing back on defense. And with a grab coming in, Polly trying the best they can to save. Counter grab, they have the picks they need with the trans coming in just a little bit too late as Superior is pushing onto the point almost uncontested.
Yeah, it looks like here they're gonna finally get it. They really outnumber them, but Time takes out Gohan, and it looks like they're trying to do their best here to sort of stay on the point and stall. Time is one-on-oneing the Zarya here. Killer Kel comes in to sort of help. Earthshatter comes in just to take Daddy out. They had to do it. Their game lives are dependent on this. They needed to take the point. They probably didn't want to burn it there, but it looks like this is going to ensure their take here on point A. Polly takes Pro Gamer out, and that's going to be a little bit of a stagger, and see if they can sort of charge in and do what they need to do. 4:16 here left on the clock, and a rally here popped by Killer Kel, and they're going to be ready here for this push.
And in 4 minutes is more than enough time for Superior to get this, as we see citizens on the high ground taking a page out of Superior's book, hopefully crashing at the right time all together.
And they come in onto the point here, uncontested. Big Earth Shatter here. Obelisk does take out Killer Kel, but he stays alive. But Polly gets taken out by Randolfo. Pro Gamer here taking out Super Sonic. And it looks like here, Fear Hype, and it's just sort of trading kills back and forth, but no, advantage goes to the Citizens here. Air trying to do his best to hold out, and it's going to be a hold here by the Citizens.
Pro Gamer with the barrage doesn't even use it. 1 or 2 kills is not worth his time. He's looking for that fat 5 or 6 piece. Definitely communicating with Daddy to try and see when that Graviton barrage can come in and just take all of Superior down. Gohan's close to that trans, but if they can get them down really quick into this first push, Superior is not going to have a response. There's not a single ult on the board for them.
Yeah, and they're running into a brick wall of Randolfo with his Zenyatta with 350 health. That is not going to be good. They get them to burn the combo here, and Pro Gamer getting 2 kills. Obelisk takes out the tank, and this is going to be a quick reset, but that's what they wanted to do, right? They wanted to draw out those ults from the Citizens.
Again, and now that they did a little back and forth, a lot of Citizens are very low on their ult charge. 15% for a rally, 4% for a grab. But we have seen Daddy getting that ult very quickly. On that first point, he had it almost well before Citizens had even touched the point. So we do see Superior in a little bit of a pickle now as we're at just 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Hopefully trying to push Citizens off of the high ground. Yeah, Air here has the Graviton, and that could be the winning combo here. But Polly gets taken out in the air. Pro Gamer takes him out, but Obelisk is trapped in the Graviton, but nothing comes of it. Oh no, that is a big no. That is big. Oh no, here coming from Team Superior. Obelisk and Pro Gamer do what they need to do, and it looks like the Superior is gonna have to fall back. There was nobody to combo there on the Graviton. And it looks like here now they're going to have 5 ults here on offense, so this is going to possibly be their last possible worthwhile push. They've got to make do with all of these ults. Again, and it comes down to Polly and Fear Hype comboing that Shatter and Barrage. If they can catch Randolfo in it, then they are golden, but if not, that trans is going to come out and it's going to waste both of those ults, and it's not a waste that Superior can afford to make, but Polly gets knocked out, causing another stagger, leaving Superior without a dedicated DPS as they just get below 1 minute and 30 seconds. It is getting down to the wire, and I'm sure both teams are very stressed out on how these last few pushes are going to go as Rally gets popped at the beginning of this push. Yeah, they're going to need all the advantages that they can get. So they're going to be walking into 5 ults here. So here comes the attack here. They have to win it with this push. Fear Hype going again from the right here. He wants to make sure they are able to sort of get anything. It charges in, and it goes through. Oh, big Earth Shadow there! Big fatty Shatty into the back. They're forced to pop Transcendence here to sort of save the team. Go on, pops Transcendence, goes immediately to the point here. And it looks like an ult by Pro Gamer takes out Killer Kel. They lose the Brigade, but they lose Fear Hype too. This is going all wrong for Superior. They're seeing their game log just, this title just sort of slipping away. Killer Kel here on the point. 30 seconds left. Their ult bank is almost dry. Daddy does still have his Graviton on defense, but Polly still has the barrage available, but everything else is gone for Superior with 15 seconds left on the clock. Are they going to be able to make it back? It's going to be very close, if so, and it just comes down to if Polly can hold on to staying alive just for a few seconds while the rest of his team gets set up and not being knocked out early by Pro Gamer. But that Graviton on the choke. Oh, big kills there. Fear Hype charged away from the Graviton, and a counter grab here catches the Citizens in the Graviton. Pro Gamer gets taken out. Fear Hype trying to do his best to survive on the point. Randolfo on the top, just raining away with that Zenyatta. Transcendence comes out. Oh no, the spawn advantage here with the Citizens. They just need to make sure that they target properly, and it's gonna be theirs. Air and Fear Hype are the only 2 left on the point. Pro Gamer gets it, but they're not able to get back on the point. The Citizens take the map and the win, 3-1. What an exciting last point. Kills on both sides, ults being thrown left and right, but it was just that slight bit of Fear Hype stepping off to try and collect himself that lost the point for Superior, but even so, didn't have the manpower to back himself up, and with that play of the game by Pro Gamer, 45 eliminations under his belt for Hanamura.
Yeah, 45. So get these numbers: 45-5 on Hanamura, 51-6 on Kings Row, and it was 38-5 on Route 66. Unbelievable there. So congratulations to the citizens there. It is them who take the win 3-1 over Superior. Fantastic there. Great job there by the citizens. Superior giving it their all, getting unlucky there, I think, a couple points. They just, a little bit of coordination failures there, just sort of was their doom, unfortunately. But the citizens looking dominant here on both the hybrid and escort maps, and then holding what they needed to hold here on Hanamura. Final thoughts, Bryce?
It was just a wonderful game to watch. Superior, I wouldn't say was bringing their A game. I definitely saw a more aggressive and more connected and communicative team against C Team. Going against Citizens, they just did not have a response for Pro Gamer or for Randolfo. And it seems a lot of the times they were running their heads into the wall. That we did see them switch on to dive on Kings Row, and I was hoping that we might see them do that on Hanamura, but just kept staying with that Zarya Ryan and ended up losing the game. Nonetheless, very impressive on both sides.
Yeah, Citizens looked really, really comfortable on their combo, and Randolfo switching to the Zen there helped a lot. On the providing extra healing and DPS there at the very end. So Citizens take the win here over Superior in your Platinum Diamond Final 3-1. Thank you to Bryce T for co-commentating and doing the color today. Fantastic job, my friend. Excellent work. And to thank you to Moe and Quella here, our producer and our admin. It is a win for the Citizens. I am your caster, Horahori. Thank you very much for joining us today in this OTC final. It is the Citizens 3-1 over Superior. Thanks very much, and I hope you have a great evening.